chair recognizes the gentlelady from Iowa, Mr. Miller Meeks. Miss Miller Meeks. Unmute yourself.
I did it, just didn't unmute, or I clicked too much and it remuted. But thank you very much, Chair Thompson and Mr. Roggio. During the Biden administration's incompetent, disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan, as a 24-year military member, I don't know what else to call that, they described the Taliban as a partner in its retreat. And it came to light that U.S. officials gave the Taliban a list of names of American citizens, green card holders, and Afghan allies to grant entry into the militant-controlled outer perimeter of Kabul's airport, naively putting our allies and friends at the mercy of a terrorist organization if they did not get into the perimeter and get evacuated. What impact did this have on Afghans who were left behind?
Yeah, this was a horrific decision amongst the many horrific decisions. And yes, as a former military person, and every person in the military I have spoken to who was not involved with the withdrawal, it was indeed has been characterized as a debacle. We can see it as the Taliban immediately took control of the country, was taking control of the country as we were drawing down. It was a direct causation. We leave, the Taliban take control. As the decision to hand over names was horrific. I was involved with helping American citizens get out of Afghanistan, as well as Afghans who have helped helped us in country. Some people who were vetted, who had the special immigration visa and things of that nature as it was happening. As a matter of fact, the day after the withdrawal, I was helping an American family of 5 with 3 small children. They tried to get to the airport 4 times. It was on the 4th try that they were able to get out. Think about dragging your 3 small children through the chaotic streets of Kabul with the Taliban prowling the streets and having to turn back from your own embassies. But the people who were there, the people who have been left, those names, the names of their family members are out there. The Taliban is currently hunting members of the military and members of the government who supported the coalition, who supported us. They are hunting our allies. The United Nations recently issued a report saying about 100 former Afghan soldiers and officials have been killed. That's the number they can confirm. I hear stories and hear from very credible sources that these numbers is very likely in the thousands. So when we gave the names of Afghans who were working with us, who we wanted to slip past to the Taliban gets a registry. And if they didn't already know that there were individuals who were being hunted, they have that information. These people are living in fear 4+ months after the U.S. withdrawal, and they will live in fear of the Taliban coming and taking them away until either it happens or they're able to leave the country.
Yeah, and I think that underscores the point you made about trying to conduct over the horizon counterterrorism, what this does to our ability to do intelligence gathering or to do counter-terrorist measures with no eyes on Iran, Russia, or the Chinese Communist Party, and then betraying our allies as well as our military and American citizens and their families in Afghanistan by this botched withdrawal, and whether or not they can trust the United States again in their word. To be able to remove all of its citizens and help our partners. Myself and many other military members in a bipartisan way had been pushing the administration since earlier in the year in April to process SIVs, to begin that process of trying to get Americans, their spouses and family members, and our Afghan interpreter allies out of Afghanistan. So I think it very much underscores how we've hampered ourselves going forward in order to conduct counterterrorism, especially in the Middle East.
If I may. Oh, I'm sorry.
If I have time, Chair, Mr. Rasmussen, we've seen unprecedented increases in migrant travel patterns at the United States southwest border, including migrants from all over the world and known or suspected terrorists at a level we've never seen before, quoting former Border Patrol Chief. CBP has encountered over 2 million migrants at the border in fiscal year 21, which is another record-breaking number for the Biden administration. Courageous members of our Border Patrol are stretched thin, and criminals are taking advantage of the situation to partake in human trafficking and drug smuggling. And we know and has been documented that also terrorist organizations and transnational organizations are taking advantage of the lax border efforts. Has GIFCT noticed any correlation to digital activities by transnational criminal organizations? When we've made trips to the border, we've been notified that criminal organizations are using TikTok and other social media in order to recruit.
Thank you for the question. I'm not sure I can point to any clear trends that we've seen in the use of online engagement by individuals or groups trying to cross the southern border for nefarious purposes. But it's something we can take up with our academic network, which tracks this very closely, or tracks worldwide activity very closely. Again, often the effort is to try to figure out what platforms they're operating on, because again, they know they are at risk of scrutiny from U.S. law enforcement when they operate on mainstream platforms.
And
Time has expired.
thank you. I yield.